Hey everybody, welcome to the crypto chart update for December 11th, 2017, the post-future episode. So how's it going with the release of the futures? What is price telling us? And that's what we're looking at today. Very interesting charts today. I'm Tim, a retail investor and journalist. This crypto chart update is where I analyze the latest charts for you in the crypto coin space using technical analysis. My goal is to give you my trade ideas as well as teach you to make your own analysis so you can all make better trades, because if we all make better trades and more people start trading, then there's more liquidity in the market, and that helps us all to make money. You can find my regular chart rundowns on tradingview.com, and on tradingview.com I publish all my trade ideas on a regular basis with actual stops and targets, and you can really go more in depth with my analysis, and you see that here on tradingview.com, all my trade ideas with Ripple, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. So if you don't have time to look at charts all day like me, then you can use my work to your advantage. And for that work, guys, it takes me a lot of time, and I've been in this space for a long time, so I'm giving you my knowledge. I really appreciate a tip in the tip jar below using one of the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin. Or please use one of my links below to sign up for a hardware wallet like Trezor or Nano, as well as services like TradingView. The charts there are really great. I can really recommend those charts, and you can sign up with my link and a little piece comes my way, and that's much appreciated. Another way to support me and my work. And of course, guys, never forget, this is only for entertainment purposes only, so these are not actual recommendations. Before you make a trade, check with your financial advisor and make sure that you are prepared to enter this very volatile market. But without further ado, let's get started with the charts. I love charts, guys. I really love charts, and this is a beautiful chart. What we have here is a channel. We're looking at Litecoin on the daily basis. That means every candle is one day, right? So every candle, every red or green candle is one day. And what we see here is that since May, we've stayed in this tight channel pretty consistently. The top trend line has been a resistance, and we've bounced down. The bottom trend line has been a support, and we've bounced up. And what I've been doing since the early summer is playing this range. So right now, we are finishing this climb to the top trend line. We started at around 50, so I hope everyone was entering there. You could have also entered around 60 or 80, but I was really surprised that in the last 3 or 4 days we basically doubled in price and we hit that trend line. I didn't think we'd get there so fast, guys, but these days things are surprising, and we've come up to that trend line pretty fast, so all likelihood points to a decline back down to that bottom trend line. Now, are we going to go straight down? I don't know. Or are we going to stay up here and slowly go down? That I can't answer. But what I do know is that looking at the past, we've really come down in these quite dramatic declines off of that trend line. So we're going to hold to that pattern. We're going to use that evidence until we're proven otherwise. Guilty until proven innocent, and we're going to expect a decline back down to that trend line, to the buy zone, which should be somewhere around 100. If we get down there faster, then the buy zone will be around 80. If we get down there slower, then the buy zone might be around 100 or 120. But taking profits right now at 135 is a pretty good idea, right? We could break out of this trend line and head higher. That would be a really bullish sign. That would be really good and really healthy. And if we break out above this trend line with a candle and we close above that trend line, that would be another entry point. So it's okay if you take profits and play the odds and then re-enter the trade. Maybe you miss a few bucks, but the odds are better. The odds of crashing back down to that trend line are a bit better than breaking out. So you want to take those profits and play the odds, because in the end, playing the odds will keep you in the game. But I have to say, it is very healthy, this RSI down here hitting overbought. We're well into overbought territory, and that's just a good sign of momentum, and we've never really had this much momentum before in Litecoin. So Very nice. And this was the Euro chart, guys. I was looking at the Euro chart, but the dollar chart looks the exact same. But I just want to show you that in Euro or in dollar, the behaviors are the same, and that confirmation is a good way to confirm your trades. Look at all the different charts, because you don't want to use a Euro chart and then it's totally different than the dollar chart, and your analysis might not be accurate. Okay, let's check out the big mama Bitcoin. We had the futures come out yesterday, and yeah, it's been interesting. We had a pullback before the futures came out, pullback to this 13,000 level, and now we are bouncing up to that 17,000 level. So the question is this another leg up higher, like we've always seen? You know, pullback, breakout, pullback, breakout, pullback, breakout, or are we going to see, for once in our lives, an actual correction a bit further down, maybe back to that 10,000 level, which would be the upper trend line of the price since summer? So we had that trend line, and it really, kind of like Litecoin, right? It kind of kept us steady, rising higher, but within this trend, and we really broke out exponentially since the end of November and shot up to 17,000 on Bitfinex. And you know, it just feels like it's time for a pullback, right? It's time for a bit more of a correction, a little crash, maybe down to 12,000 or 10,000. That would be our buy zone, because we would bounce off of that trend line and head higher. But we could, yeah, by all means, we could have a quick run higher to 20,000 or above. It's Christmas time, and that's interesting. Are we going to see more people entering because it's Christmas and people are talking about it, or are we going to see people taking profits because they want to go into Christmas with some money? Maybe they want to buy something for buy a present, or maybe they just want to settle their debts at the end of the year, so they take some Bitcoin off the table. It's going to be really interesting to see if we get buying or selling. But right now, it looks pretty healthy, and as long as if we can close above those old highs, right now we're pressing up against them. If we zoom down into the 60-minute chart, we can see that we almost broke out. We almost reached those old highs, but not quite. So on the 60-minute chart, it does look a little weaker. It looks like we could develop a double top. And if we develop a double top, that could easily lead to a breakdown for the Christmas holidays, and we'll see some lower prices. I could easily see that happening, because once a run starts going, you know, especially at this time, with the futures in play, it might accelerate. And we do have the CME futures coming out on the 18th of December. So not quite sure how that's going to play into everything, but we could see extra buying like we have with the SIBO futures so far. Since yesterday, we've seen a run up in buying, and that was surprising to some, because some people thought it would just cause more selling. But it seems like right now we're seeing buying, we're seeing interest in the market, but it could be that they're willing to slam it back down. If the futures people slam it back down, then they might have just given us a little illusion there, like a little run up, so they could smack it back down. And if they smack it back down, we get that double top, maybe with some profit taking for the holidays, maybe with a little more fear in the market, and that could lead to a bigger crash. But as we always have before, if we end up breaking out of here, then maybe that brings more people into the long market, into the long side. So right now we're just seeing what happens, right? It's not a trading signal right now. We're waiting for a breakout of those old highs, or we're waiting for this breakdown forming a double top, and that would be really interesting, because a lot of people that have entered the space have never seen a crash in Bitcoin. They've never seen a 40-50% decline, and at some point we're going to have one of those, and it would be really interesting to see how the herd reacts. Ethereum, I've been, of course, you know, waiting for this thing to break out since the end of November. As always, my frustration trade, my pain trade. I'm staying in it though. I'm overweight in Ethereum. Look on the daily chart, just because technically it's beautiful. Technically we have this long consolidation, and we broke out and now we're just hovering above that level. I would like to see some motion though. I would like to see us climbing higher to that 600 level. Right now we're above the moving averages, we're above the 20-day, we're above the 200, we're above this trend line, we're above the support level. So we're above all of this support. There's a lot of support here, and I'm hoping that this pushes us up. If we just check out the Ichimoku cloud, of course, we also see that we're above that cloud, and if we go horizontal a bit more, then we should start to see some rounding behavior and a breakout. But not quite sure what the catalyst will be, but hopefully we get some news in Ethereum, or people move from Bitcoin into Ethereum. That would be really great, a really great thing for Ethereum. Our Ethereum trade, if we check out the Bitcoin Cash is also interesting. It's consolidating in this triangle, and if it breaks out again, I mean, it could easily hit 2,000, 3,000. But right now it's just consolidating sideways after that huge move up from 200 to 1,300. So of course, after a move like that, you need digestion, and right now we're digesting. Okay, let's check out Ripple. Ripple. Another pain trade for me, because I've been in this for a long time. If you've been in the trade with me, then you know, we haven't lost any money, but we haven't made any money either. We've just gone sideways for a couple months, and another big consolidation, guys, and we hope that breaks out to the upside. In cryptocurrencies, I mean, as long as they've been around, they've always broken out to the upside. There's momentum, there's bullish momentum behind them, right? I mean, there's not a bearish sentiment building up right now that cryptocurrencies are causing the end of the world. There's a lot of bears out there, there's a lot of naysayers, but bullish momentum is building all the time. So all we can say is that we can expect this to break out in the direction of the overall trend, which is up. What I don't like about Ripple is this 200-day is flattening out and turning over, and that's kind of a sign of weakness. If the moving average is rolling over, that's the long-term 200-day trend. So of all these coins, I mean, if we look at Litecoin again, for example, I mean, that moving average is clearly in an uptrend, right? So that's, we can just look at that, we can eyeball it and see the uptrend. But we look at Ripple, and yeah, it's kind of rolling over, so not really liking that. And if we fall below that moving average, we definitely want to lighten up on our Ripple position. But hopefully bullish momentum takes over. Monero, okay, this chart's pretty messy. Let me clear some of this out. Look at this, perfect execution. Monero hit all of our targets. It broke out of this base, this nice base since August. It consolidated like Ethereum a bit above that line, and this is what we want to see in Ethereum too, but it happened in Monero, and then it bounced. Our first target was 213, we took profits. Our second target was 250, we took profits, and we actually, look at that, we kissed this 261.8 Fibonacci level. Beautiful. Just shows you how those levels work, right? You see that each level has been a support and a resistance, and you can play against those levels. And right now, after this run up, you know, maybe we break out again, sure, and we head back up. But right now, after we hit our targets, so we take our profits and we move on, we wait for this trade to develop. Because if you enter right now, maybe it goes up to 300, but it could also break down to 150. So you just have like a 50-50 shot, and the reward to risk is not in your favor. But right now, I'm really liking Monero. It looks healthy, but it's not a trade entry, so we keep it on our chart and look for the next setup. Dash, another incredibly healthy coin. Look at the 200-day just moving up, and just this breakout, extraordinary. Hit our targets at 415, 536, 611, and now 731. We've hit all of these targets. Very positive behavior. If we hold this level and break out, it means next leg would be 927, heading up towards 1,000. But after a run like this, again, you know, I mean, just after a run like this, we just want to take our profits and see how things develop, because it could easily fall back down to this trend line that we've also seen in Dash. So we could easily see a crash back down to 400, just like in the past, right? We saw these run-ups and consolidate, run-ups and consolidate, and so that's where we might see another consolidation right here. and then we'll probably see another breakout in next year. So Dash is looking really good, but not really a trade entry. Look at some of the altcoins. Neo, yeah, you know, didn't break out as much as I thought it would, but it's still consolidating above that range, and we look for a breakout there above, I don't know, above 43 or so. OMG coin looks like Neo. We broke out of this triangle. We're holding it, but we need to see a breakout of those old highs, probably a breakout above around 11, and our target would be 14. PivX, you know, I was in this for a while. I did take my profits and I got out of this trade, but to be honest, it's probably better if we just look at it in terms of a channel, because it's been pretty consistent, just like Litecoin, just like Dash, moving up in these channels. So there's a couple coins that are just channel bound, and that's really nice. So we're just, yeah, we're playing the bottom of that channel and selling at the top of that channel. So another way to play, you could play that channel, just checking out here, right? Yeah, buying it around 3 to 350, selling up around 4 or 5. People making some good money playing that channel. And Yoda, that's one that everyone's talking about. You know, big high. I mean, some people made a lot of money on this recently. And yeah, it broke out of that channel. It's hit all of our targets beautifully. Fib levels have played in nicely. Right now we're at 361.8 retracement. And are we going to have another leg up after a 400% increase? Sure, we could. We could easily have another breakout to 850 or so. But at some point, I gotta think we're gonna consolidate, just like in Bitcoin Cash. We might run up 400, 500, 100%, but at some point, we're gonna go sideways. And that's when we'll look for the next trade, the next triangle, the next consolidation range. That's when we wanna make our trades. Not right now, when it could go up or down. It's just a shot in the dark. Let's see. I'll just check out BTS against Bitcoin. OMG against Bitcoin. This is a good chart because you see that like OMG has been going sideways compared to the dollar, but in terms of Bitcoin, it's just been crashing. So if you've been in a trade, did you want to be in an altcoin or did you want to be in Bitcoin? You could have just been in Bitcoin and made 50%. But if you're just playing these altcoins, you know, you might end up, sure, hitting a winner like Yoda and making 500%, but then you have a coin like OMG that's lost, you know, that's lost 60% of its value against Bitcoin. So that's why, you know, stick with the liquid products. If we see a good setup in the altcoins, we play it, but don't just blindly buy these altcoins because they have a mind of their own and they're illiquid and you can easily lose money. But when we see a good trade, we want to take it. But don't just blindly buy altcoins because it's basically like a lottery ticket. So use your technical analysis, guys, and read the charts and make good trades so you're always in the coins that have the best momentum and the best setups. And check out my videos to figure out, to get a leg up on the competition. And please leave me a donation, send me a message, leave me a comment below this video with your chart request. And I hope to see you guys soon.